Cause you high and you're cold, you're yes and you're no, you in and you out, you up and you down. Oh God! Like this thing's recording. You guys definitely did not hear me just sing Katy Perry. Okay, okay. Today we're going to be looking at let's get serious. All right. Today we are looking at, or at least I can say I am. I'm going to be looking at some accomplishment towers in Fort Worth. So yeah, today is going to be today's going to be a half and half episode. I mean, just this is not for any series really. This is going to be a one shot video basically. So it's just going to be a half and half video. The first half is going to be looking at some accomplishment towers in Fort Worth, Texas. And then the other half, I'm going to be looking at some accomplishment towers back in Missouri where I live. So yeah, hang on, y'all. Tower One. Accomplishment Tower One, the famous Dallas Accomplishment Tower. It had the incandescent and strobe setup. In the past, I believe Anchor 10 said it had FH324s for a while, but now it has LEDs, old school LEDs. I think I know which one this is. I think this one is. Um, no, this is not the one I filmed. I do know I filmed one of these once. I filmed one of these, so yeah, that's nice to know. So there's some markers. Like there's the first set of markers. I don't know if this is when it had dual strobes, or I don't know when this straight view was. I have a feeling it was probably when it had dual strobes, but because there's markers clearly. There's clearly markers. LEDs, towers with two sets of LEDs don't get markers. That's a no-brainer. So yeah, this must be old Street View of when it had dual strobes. So there's the first set of markers. And we go up and oh, I was wrong. Looks like it still has markers. They probably don't work anymore. Maybe I don't know. But there's the old school LEDs. Um, in the middle of the tower, though, I can definitely see something. Looks like there's like a little platform on top. In the middle. Looks like that would have been able to hold incandescent, but at the same time, the platforms that the LEDs are standing on, that looks like it's a perfect place for strobes and incandescents, like two sets. Like the strobes can be below and the incandescents can be on top. So yeah, that'll be not, I think maybe that's it, or maybe that's just used for no, I don't see that. I was going to say, like, maybe it's just used to protect the dual strobes and stuff. And then I realized that there's just those screen things up there. So, yeah. I guess, uh, I guess those were used for a strobe and incandescent beacon setup, unless if that platform in the middle held the incandescent, and then the strobes were on those other platforms. Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, and then we get to the next set of markers, and then we get to the blurred out top. Let's fix that real fast. All right, here it is. So I know this one. Like this one, I remember from the DFW series. This here has like four platforms on top of it. This one has it's unique. Um, I like how all more there's like two or three towers that have this same exact shape as this, like they're clones of each other, but each one of them has different platforms. So yeah, that'll be fun. Like that'll be fun to look at all of them and find out how many there is. So yeah, there's that. So this here's like I don't consider this one to be the first out of the clone towers. The one I filmed, I consider that one to be the first one because I think that might be the first one I looked at during the DFW series. I don't know, but that's what I like to believe. So you're able to see another accomplishment tower that'll come next. I believe it's going to be the second one in the video. I bet I had that feeling. So accomplishment tower 2, the brother of tower 1, also had the strobe and incandescent setup in its in its past. This one I know for sure had FH324s at one point. Now it has old school LEDs like its brother. They met the same fate, just like the two Lowe's Tower brothers. Oh, it's not. It's not the. It's not that. It's not that other one that was next to the first accomplishment tower. This one here is the one I filmed. This one is what I consider to be the first of the clone towers. Like you see, like the first one. This one here has that unique looking platform on it. And the other one we just looked at that has like three, four. Well, it has an antenna that has like 3, 4 platforms on it as well. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Um, I seen this tower in person. I filmed it, and that's what I've been talking about. This is a tower I filmed. This was like during the end of the Texas arc. We were going home, and we were lucky enough to go through Fort Worth because we're going to drive all the way from Corpus Christi to Oklahoma City. So yeah, we had to drive through. We had to drive through Fort Worth for that. So I got to film this tower. I tried to film as much DFW towers as I was able to. You know, like all the cool ones and all the ones from the series. You know, like I tried to film all of those the best I could. So yeah, there it is. Like it has the same platforms that reveal that it had the strobe incandescent beacon set up back then. And this time, unlike the last tower, this one doesn't appear to have that one middle platform. So either it was removed either it was removed or something, or I don't know. It probably never had one. Like there's nothing there, nothing whatsoever. You know, there's another tower that used to have the strobe and incandescent beacon set up now. Well, I mean, it used to have the strobe and incandescent beacon set up, but now has a dual strobe setup. That would be nice if I was able to talk about it in this video, but in order for that to happen, that means it'll have to become an accomplishment tower, which means you'll have to get LEDs. And nobody wants. I completely forgot if this had old schools. Like, let's look at the description real fast. Oh crap. Um, oh, that was a spoiler. Yeah, it has old school LEDs. I don't know about markers. So let's assume that it still has working markers because that's pretty nice to believe. Even though that dead markers on the tower, that's very believable as well. Because FAA, yeah boy, yeah, FAA is awesome. Soon it will be time. This is the part. This is the part where I thought he was completely done with this. Like literally only 2 towers, and I thought he was done with it already. For some reason, I thought the other. For some reason, I thought the second Google Maps link would show me 2 towers, making that 3 accomplishment towers in this video for the Texas half, not the Missouri half. You know, so that's why I said soon it will be time. So yeah. So here's accomplishment tower 3. Hand incandescence now has FH324s. You can actually still see the bottom incandescent. I think this one. Oh hey, it is. This is also one of the clone. This is also one of the clones. Like the 2 clones. So that means there's 3 of these. And if you guys don't remember, Uh, those look like TWRs. Well, it looks like when I first seen this, I thought they were I thought they were just FA324s too, I think. But now that I see it, they're all right. This now I can't even determine if they're TWRs or T. I don't even know if they're TWRs or flash technology. I seen the housing and stuff, like it look white and stuff, what I mean, like you're able to see it and stuff. But in the other street view, you weren't able to see that. It just looked the housing and all that stuff. It looked black like the normal housing, and on the flash technology dual strobe. So yeah, there's something that there's something that Motor2K forgot to mention. This is something I immediately spotted when I first seen this tower, when this tower was introduced in the DFW series. Like, you're able to see one little thing. Like, I remember Anchor 10 said it just had an incandescent in the middle, and now Motor2K is saying that it has an incandescent in the middle and only an incandescent, I guess. But when I first seen this tower, I completely noticed one thing. That's a single strobe above the incandescent. Like, let's get a better view. I guess, like, I think this here be fine. Like, it's far away. All right. Okay, that's even worse, guys. I just realized that the video was paused. Hopefully it wasn't paused that long. So like I was saying, I don't know if you guys heard me say this or not. Maybe the video was paused the entire time I was talking about the strobe and incandescent beacon setup, but I said that the most common strobe and incandescent beacon setup is the KG225 and the KG114. Yeah, I have no idea why I don't call it the 225 and the 114. I have no idea why. I just usually say it like that, and I think it'll just be hard to change. And then you get the cone strobe and incandescent setup. And then you also have the FH08 and incandescent setup as well, which I don't see that too often either. Like, that one's more rare. So yeah, this here, that single strobe does not look like any of the beacons I just mentioned. It looks like a 2000. I believe it's a 2000. So yeah, I have a feeling that there's an incandescent and 2000 on top as well. When I first seen it and noticed that it had the strobe incandescent beacon set up in the middle of the tower, I assumed that the top was removed for some reason. The top setup. I still can't see it, but I choose to believe that it's there, I guess. So yeah, there is some street view of this tower where you're able to see it without the dual strobes and only the incandescent the strobe and incandescent beacon setup. So yeah, it still has the strobe and incandescent beacon setup, but it doesn't work because there's dual strobes on it now. It's somewhat of a downgrade, but dual strobes for life, baby. But I wonder one thing. There's one thing. Is this an accomplishment tower? Is Does this have an LED? I have no idea. Like, I remember when we were just talking about this the last video, and then the third link it brung me to this tower, and I was just like, no, it has an LED now. So yeah, I don't know. He didn't mention it having LEDs, so this tower really shouldn't be in the video if it's not an accomplishment tower. But hey, like, I wanted to talk about this tower again. Like, I'm glad, like, pretty nice to have this tower again. Like, I wanted to talk about this tower. Let's see. how far away was it from the highway that I took to oh God, it's far away from the highway that me and my family took to go through Fort Worth. Yeah, it is. So that was Tower 3. So I guess I'll ask him about that later. So I think there's a hmm. Oh yeah, this here is Tower number 4, or accomplishment Tower number 4. I meant to say this one here still has strobes in some form. So I think you guys should already know what this is. Accomplishment Tower number 4 is no other than the downtown Houston accomplishment tower. Um, it's I don't think it's a clone. Well, I think it might be a semi-clone to the previous 3, maybe. I don't know. I have a feeling that might resemble them a little bit. Let's find out real fast. Oh God, no. That does not resemble that much, like it's not four-legged, it doesn't get skinny you know how on the other 3 like you it's hard to describe. Just you should have seen the other 3, or you've seen the other 3 already. Do you think it looks like this? Hell no. So there's the beacons. This one has TWR strobe and LEDs. Like I have no idea how I said strobe and what the so I think hopefully I can find some old Street View of this so I can show you what it used to have if you guys forgot what about this tower. So let's find out real fast. Okay, that's not old enough. I have a feeling that this is even newer Street View than before, the one that we looked at. Like Overcast Street View, like that's usually newer than like the like the sunny-ish Street View like this. Like winterish, like winter sunny Street View. Like this, stuff like that. It's just older than the Overcast Street Views, because that's how it is in Missouri, I guess you can say. Wait, is this a highway patrol tower? No, it's a Houston Police Department tower, maybe. Okay, this is also too new, I guess. Well, you guys get the idea. It used to have the strobe and incandescent beacon set up. I won't be able to show you it because I can't find old Street View, or at least Street View that shows it. Like just old Street View, not old, but just old enough to see its old beacon set up. In this Street View, the visible strobe and LED that you're able to see kind of reminds me of kind of looks like a KG225 a little bit. You know how KG225s are, like half the beacon is the flash head, and then the other half is like a box of things, a box of controls, a box of wires and crap like that. And then there's like these other little can things in there too. I don't know what those are for. I don't know what they do, but they're probably filled with wires and stuff like that. So yeah, you know. So this tower here used to have cone strobes. Yep, legendary cone strobes and modern incandescence. So yeah, that's a good beacon setup. It's a rare strobe and LED. Like I just said earlier, that it's not rare. What like it's not the most common. I guess you can say. You don't see cone strobes every day, sadly enough. So yeah, you know it's kind of a win-lose situation, I guess. Win lose, win lose, win win. Win win lose. I guess I'll just say that. Like, you know, it might have lost its strobes and incandescence, but it still has strobes. but it also has LEDs too because it has a strobe and LEDs. This here became an accomplishment tower in a very unique way. So yeah, there's also another method of this happening as well. Like if a tower used to have an incandescent beacon, and that incandescent beacon gets replaced by a strobe and LED, like a TWR strobe and LED, then boom, automatic accomplishment tower. So yeah, there's that. So hopefully this doesn't get LEDs because it doesn't even matter if this gets LEDs anymore. It's already an accomplishment tower. Let's just hope it doesn't get full 100% LEDs because right now it just has like half LEDs. And now we're done with the first half of this video. Let's move on to the next half. The Missouri accomplishment towers. Woo! So we're going to start off with the one and only Wide Fidelity Tower. So let's take a look. You guys should already know what this is, so let's just skip through it. Well, I mean, not skip through it, but let's go through it fast. So back then when this tower was a long lines tower, it had an old school incandescent. I have no idea how many markers it had, or how many sets of markers I meant to say. It's only a set of markers that you're able to see. They're kind of a little too high up and a little too low to have a second set of markers. I guess it only had one set of markers, and they're kind of raised a little higher to so they won't get blocked by the bottom horns or something like that. I can definitely find that kind of useless because most of its longline horns were on the top. So yeah, back then it had an incandescent. And then when Fidelity bought it and took off all the horns and transformed it into this antenna tower, they replaced the incandescent with a KG225. So yeah, it had that for a while, and then one day, just randomly one day, me and my family are going to St. Louis, and I realized, well, I seen the tower, its beacon wasn't flashing. I was just like, oh man, it looks like it's burnt out. Hopefully they switch it out, like in this week or something. Like soon, I guess. Like 2 or 3 times the other two, like I think we passed it again like a few more times in a span of a month or two, maybe. I don't know. It's been the beacon's been off for a long period of time. During this time, like it's something, I guess. Um. So yeah, and then all of a sudden we go to St. Louis or just somewhere around there again, and then I seen it. It got an LED. So yeah, I think the first time I actually got to see this tower with an LED was probably maybe not, but I remember February 2021. I mean February 2020. Me and my family went to somewhere. We went through somewhere around the St. Louis area to go to an anime store for my sister. And I seen this tower. So yeah, I think that might be the first time. I don't know. I don't think it is, but I do know at that time that was the first time I seen its night mode, and I can say it's basically a crappy LED night mode but white. Literally, it has the crappy LED night mode, but it's shining white. That's literally all it is. But I don't believe it's a crappy LED. It's clearly a strobish LED. Like that's one of the first things I noticed when I seen the flash. Like I was just like, why is it flashing so fast, man? Like, why is it so fast? It's kind of like a strobe, really. Like, holy crap, man, that's weird. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, that's its beacon history. Okay, so the next one is this long lines tower here. Yep, two long line towers in a row. So you know, I don't have any proof of this tower having incandescence, but I heard I can definitely believe it was built like in the 80s or before that. Maybe I don't know how old this thing is, but I believe it's been built around that time. And at that time, old school incandescents were the most popular, most used beacon. Like almost every tower around that time had an incandescent beacon, because that's how things worked. Even though strobes were around at that time, like I didn't hear any in much stories of, well, I didn't hear much about them really, like I guess you can say. So yeah, there's that. So I guess it had an incandescent, I guess. And then it got replaced by a dual strobe. I can show you the dual strobe real fast. There it is. It has a, well, I mean, it had an FH324, and this is back when it also had horns too. It looks so much cooler back then. I don't even care if it's height extended or something like that. The tower looked cooler this way. I miss this tower looking like this. So yeah, now it has no other than the good old crappy LED. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but there was one time where I seen it at a far distance. Like, I think me and my dad were going to the Love's gas station at Rolla, and you're able, like, we were on the bridge, and I seen this tower from a far distance, and it was flashing white, but in the crappy night mode. And I think I also seen the markers too. Or maybe that was a time where I was at St. James that night. I don't know. I don't remember. So, yeah. That's the only malfunction I know of from this tower. It's kind of cool. So yeah, I guess this is a. I guess this is a. This is I guess this is an accomplishment tower. I guess. Man, I remember being able to easily find this tower just by looking at the Highway 63 sign, but now I'm having difficulty, I guess. Oh my god, where is it? Where is it? I need it. Come on, show yourself, damn it. Oh, finally I found it. This here is the legendary former Longlines, former MCI tower. The Freeburg Red and White Guide Tower. And that's what I like to call it. Oh my god. This good old tower over here used to have a KT225 and old school 100, old school 114 incandescent beacon setup. So yeah, it still has the KT225 today, but sadly the incandescent that stood above it was replaced by some LED. Not too sure what LED it is, but it does look big, so I guess it's a modern LED. Kind of looks like a single strobe, so I guess it is a modern LED. So yeah, there's also a picture of this tower. You're able to see a little bit of its old beacon setup, and you're able to see its old markers and new markers too. Like you can look, as you can see, you're able to see the first set of old markers, and there's the second set of old markers that belong to the incandescent. So yeah, it's pretty nice. And then the new markers, there's the new markers. I'm pretty sure those are it, I believe. So yeah, looks like the LED is white and red. For some reason, I kept on thinking it was a white only LED for a period of time. The reason why is because the first and only time I seen this tower at night, its KT225 was at night mode. Well, on its separate night mode. The incandescent wasn't working. For some reason, little me thought that was permanent. I don't know if it was permanent or not. I hope the incandescent worked and stuff after that night. Like that'd be nice, I guess. I have a feeling that it probably didn't. I don't know, but I always thought that the LED was white only because they wanted to keep the white only tradition on this tower. So yeah, there's that. And I mean, I found the markers, so that gave it away. Yay! So yeah, it shines white and red. I have no idea if the markers flash or not. That's for another day. I hope to see this tower at night one day at least. Okay, so let's talk about my favorite accomplishment tower that was kind of ruined, because they kind of removed its top platform that made it look cool. That top platform wasn't any sort of well, it wasn't like your average platform. That one was a unique looking platform. So yeah, it was pretty nice. Too bad they had to remove that one out of all of them. It won't look the same now without it. So you guys should probably all know the story to this one as well. This here used to have the strobe and incandescent beacon set up. Not too sure what strobes it had. I always used to believe that it had FH308s for day mode, but I'm starting to believe that it had KT225s maybe, because that's like the most common. Like, I have to be honest. Now that I think about it, the FH308s, the strobe and incandescent beacon setup with FH308s is just so rare. I never see them usually. I never get to see them. If I do, they already have LEDs. So yeah, it kind of pisses me off. Um, I remember the first time I ever found out that this tower had both strobes and incandescents. Like that before that time, I didn't know it was possible for a tower to have both of those beacons. I was at one of my great aunt's houses. I think she's a great aunt. I don't know, some sort of family member that used to live in a trailer that was just right next to the tower. I was looking out the window. It was getting darker, darker. So yeah, I was just looking out the window, looking at the tower, and then in front of my eyes, I seen the incandescent just pop on, just right there. That was a very magical moment. I wish I could relive that and record it with my own eyes. Like just use my eyes to record it. Like my vision back then, I would imagine it being like 10 times better than it is right now, like glasses level, or probably a little below, but still. And for some reason, every time I think about the single strobes it had, for some reason I keep on thinking it had like two black stripes on them, like FH308s with two black stripes on it. I don't know why. It just comes in my mind. I I guess like it's weird. Really, it is. I don't know why I kept on thinking that. So yeah. And then for I don't remember which year, but it got LEDs basically. You know, I always believed that it was just the single strobes in their own night mode, until eventually, as I got older and learned more about LEDs and stuff, that belief started falling apart. Just piece by piece by piece by piece by piece. But for some reason, younger me still believed that it had LED, that it still had its old beacon setup, until one day in 2009, in summer 2019. um, Me and my family went to one of my cousin's houses for the day, and we stayed until dark. So when we were going home, well, on our way home, I seen this tower at a distance, and I seen crappy LEDs on it. I was just like, there's only one tower in Houston that has two sets of LEDs. And it's not that one tower down there, because it still has dual strobes. I seen that earlier. It's this one here, sadly. So yeah, that's when I found out I had LEDs. I had a little pissed off moment inside my mind. Like I didn't want to accept it. It sucks. There's no footage of this tower with its old beacon setup. And to put salt on injury, they removed the top platform like a few years later, like 3 years later, I guess, or two actually. Yeah, like one actually, 1.5 or more. I don't know. Just a just a long while later they removed the top platform. Like, what's the use of doing that? Like, I know there's nothing that was making it useful, but keep it on there. Like, I don't understand why you remove it. Like, keep it on there. Like, is it such a pain to deal with? Like, do you have to take it off? Is it required? Like, seriously, come on, people. I don't know if it has markers or not. I don't remember. I don't remember. Like, I didn't pay attention, I guess. I don't know. I hope it has markers. I bet, the next time I'll see this, I don't know when. Hopefully it's soon. Hopefully it's soon, really, really soon. That's all I wish for, is to see this tower at night again and film it. And now we look at probably the newest, maybe, I don't know. Uh, I think it might be the newest accomplishment tower. Like, this one here got an LED, just like recently. It got it in February 2020. This here is very distant. I know that. So this here is just one of those towers that would just one of those towers I would pass by every time I go to go to St. Louis. Though it was more unique because it was right behind Six Flags, and it was standing next to two other towers, or one other tower, because the other lattice tower is actually new. I don't know what year it was built, but I always known it for being that one tower that stands behind. So yeah, um, I had no idea that it had this beacon set up for the longest time. I always thought it just had a normal dual strobe like all the other towers. So yeah, until one day, one fateful day, I um I was driving back home from St. Louis or somewhere at night, and for the first time I got to see it at night. Yeah, surprising. Like, I must have seen it other times at night, but I just didn't know it was this tower. So yeah, this time I known because I was able to see the lights and stuff of Six Flags, and I seen it. I definitely seen it. It was no other than an incandescent beacon. I have no idea if it was modern or old school. I guess it's modern. The tower is gray and stuff. I guess it's modern. I guess I don't know. I don't know what single strobe it had either, but it had some sort of single strobe. So yeah, that was the first and last time I'll ever see that tower's old beacon set up at night. So yeah, because the next time I'll see it at night, it will have a modern LED. I remember I was hyped to see this one. Like, I was hyped, like when we were going back home and stuff, it got very dark. I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready to see this tower. Like, yeah, let me see this tower. And then I seen it had a modern LED, no longer has its other beacons, like sad boy hours, I guess you can say. Well, at least it didn't have. At least it doesn't have flashing side markers. That's what I can say. At least I don't remember flashing side markers. So yeah, there's that. It sucks how I found out that I had this strobe incandescent beacon set up this entire time. I was just like, I look forward to seeing it again at day and night. And then the LED came around, and since this was around the time where LEDs just decided to become popular for some reason, it got an LED. For some reason. This LED apocalypse just randomly popped out of nowhere. I have a feeling that FAA has to do something with it. I just have that feeling. So yeah, there's that. Um, and with that, like, we looked at three accomplishment towers actually. Like one of the four towers that we looked at in Fort Worth is not an accomplishment tower. The other three were. And the ones that we just looked at in Missouri, like all four of these are accomplishment towers. Sadly enough, like I don't like it when towers become accomplishment towers. Like it's so bad. Like it sucks, man. It just sucks so much. And that's all I had to say. So yeah, let's end this. It's like 40 minutes long. So yeah, see you all later and bye. When are we going to get Georgia Towers Part